Sharon Winkler of Atlanta is a mother on a mission nearly 7 years after losing her 17-year-old son to suicide. Winkler has lobbied Congress to pass the Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA. It would force social media companies to do more to protect minors on their platforms. The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin spoke with Winkler and joins us now. And Beth, she says cyberbullying played a role in her son's death.
Yes, Russ. You know, Winkler says that her son Alex was in a very vulnerable place. He and his girlfriend had just broken up. So she says he went online looking for support. And instead, Winkler believes he started getting messages from strangers online, messages that she didn't know about until she read about them in his suicide note. For years, Sharon Winkler says she was a fan of social media.
Yeah, I mean, I was a techno-optimist. I thought it was wonderful.
But the loss of Winkler's 17-year-old son, Alex Pizer, to suicide changed everything.
Alex was a really great kid. I mean, he was so sweet and he was smart.
Spread out on the family's Atlanta table, photos of Winkler's youngest son at the beach, theater camp, and his prized Star Wars Lego collection.
He was active in Boy Scouts and his church youth group and in band and in theater.
In October of 2017, Alex was beginning his junior year at his South Carolina high school.
Unfortunately, Alex broke up with his girlfriend. And he went online looking for support. And instead he got messages that you are ugly, that you are unlovable, you will never find love in your life. He didn't tell me that those were the kinds of messages he was getting until he put it in his suicide note. You know, I think he was ashamed that these online messages were affecting him so dramatically.
And when Alex Pizer died in 2017, Winkler says no one was talking about cyberbullying or the risks of social media.
You know, the marketers say, oh, it's fun and you'll build community and you'll get support. And yet there's a downside, and it's a really bad downside.
Winkler's now part of Parents for Safe Online Spaces and has created the website socialmediaharms.org.
We have come together to turn our pain into action.
And she's joined other bereaved parents who are pushing Congress to pass the Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA.
KOSA will require that every platform have their highest safety measures on for minors 16 and under.
KOSA, Winkler says, would restrict who can communicate with minors online or get access to their personal data. And although teens would be able to search for topics of interest, KOSA would allow them to automatically opt out of algorithms that suggest posts that are trending, and Winkler says are likely to be more emotionally charged.
Because the kids are getting messages that they're not choosing, they're not asking for, they're being sent to them. And it's not just pro-suicide, it's pro-eating disorder, it's pro-cutting. Kids are on 5, 7 different apps. It's overwhelming.
For now, Winkler says it's really important to talk to kids and teens about how to handle unwanted contact online.
If they're approached by an adult they don't know online, they need to tell somebody. If they're getting messaging over and over that's distressing to them, they need to tell an adult.
It's been nearly 7 years since Alex Pizer died. Retired from the Navy, Sharon Winkler has found a new mission: to protect the next generation of kids like Alex.
I'm hoping that he would be proud of me. I know that he would not want anyone else to experience what he experienced.
And KOSA, if it's passed, would also require social media platforms to undergo independent third-party audits, and those would look at the potential risks that they might pose to young users. It would also look at the steps that the companies say they are taking to protect children. And KOSA is right now in Senate committee. If it passes in the Senate, it will move on to the U.S. House. Russ?
Well, you know, our kids are vulnerable and we need to protect them. As she says, it's overwhelming, especially the cruelty. Hard to imagine that people would say the things that they said to him.
Yeah, and that it could happen so quickly and you wouldn't know.
My heart goes out to her. She's doing good work.
She is.
Beth, thanks.